Good morning, guys. How is everyone today? This is Amanda from Ellery's Embers, and I am back with another video. I've been thinking about what to talk about, and I wanted to kind of continue on what we talked about yesterday as far as learning self-acceptance. And so let's get started. Have some incense here. We're going to just light that, say a quick blessing. Okay. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today, continuing on with our talk about self-acceptance and allowing yourself to share more of yourself with the people that you love. Here, I'm going to take my glasses off so there's not glare again. So I pulled a couple of cards this morning from my crystal deck, and I got the Fuchsia and Feldspar Inner Child card. You guys can see that. And this card is talking about innocence and self-awareness, so knowing that. And the other card that I pulled was Jade and Pink Lotus, Sink into Silence. So I kind of wanted to tell you guys this is reflection and tranquility. And then I wanted to tell you guys how we can use those cards and this information in our concept of talking about self-acceptance. When we're talking about self-acceptance, I think a really good exercise and something I can even guide you guys through right now, if you'd like, you can get a pen and a paper. But something that I like to do when I'm struggling with self-acceptance and I want to know kind of how to come back to myself, right? Maybe if you have trauma or if you have something that has taken you out of your body, and by that I mean if you have something traumatic that happens to you, and that can be anything, really, trauma can look like anything, that takes you away from your body, from your space, and it causes things that are called auric tears. So that's tears in your energy field, and it leaches your energy out. And part of why trauma is so painful, because then you're trying to re-identify, okay, who am I and how do I come back to myself? And I don't know where to start, and I don't know what to feel, or maybe I don't feel anything. So something I've struggled with a lot and worked on a lot in this life. So some practical steps for you guys to learn self-acceptance and come back into your body with your energy field and your thought process is to just have a moment. And I know a lot of people get nervous about meditation, and this is not really that, but just have a moment, a quiet moment with yourself where you allow yourself to think back. So you're going to be thinking back about your childhood, and I want you to think about the happiest times in your childhood and what exactly was that? Was that I had a favorite sweater, or I had this activity that I would do, or, you know, for me, when I look back, I have these things of like, I love to wear dresses, I love to play dress up, and I love to pretend I was Cinderella or Mary Poppins or Roy Rogers or whatever, you know, whatever the thing was I was pretending I was dressing up as. So I love to do that. And something else I love to do was I love to play with the gravel in our driveway, and I would sort out like, okay, I love this rock and I love that rock, and I would pick the rocks out that I liked and bring them in the house, and I had a little shoebox I would keep them in. Something else I like to do is I had this thing I called Crystal Club with my dogs. So every evening, and it was particularly on the evenings where we had pot roast, because I hated pot roast. So I would sneak the pot roast that I didn't want to eat off my plate in a napkin. And I would go out and sit with my dogs and like sneak them the pot roast. And we had this little pink crystal, and I would like tell my dogs secrets. And of course my dogs were super into this, you know, Crystal Club, because that means that they got pot roast. So it Just a funny story for you guys. But anyway, you look back into your childhood and you think about those things, and maybe it's just one small moment. Like, I also remember we had this big screen door in our front, in the front of our house, and the sun would shine in every morning and the carpet would get really hot right there. And so I would sit on the carpet and just feel the sun and the heat coming off the carpet and would feel so good. So I want you to don't put too much pressure on this. Just think about it. Maybe if you're driving to work, in your car, and you're thinking about thinking back, or maybe you've got a quiet minute in the shower and you're just taking a minute and thinking. But allow yourself to think back on those things that make you so happy in childhood. And maybe, like I said, that can be anything. That could be a color, a person, your favorite clothes, your favorite activities, your favorite foods, anything. And let it be anything, and then take note of that. So once you guys have your list of those things that you loved in childhood, and this does not have to be a huge list. This can be like a couple of things, 2 or 3 things that you're like, oh, hey, I haven't thought about that in years, and I actually really loved this, whatever this thing is, whatever that is. Let it be whatever it is, but don't put too much pressure on it. And then once you have that, look at how those things fit into your life now. So, for example, something for me when I do this exercise is, okay, when is the last time that I let myself sit down in the sun and feel the warmth? Like, appreciate that the sun is shining, that it's giving me life, that it's filling me up with this energy of excitement and brightness and hope. When is the last time I did that? And sometimes it'll be like, okay, well, I haven't done that in like a long time, like 4 or 5 months, So think about that when you get your things written down that you are looking back at from childhood, and those things that you know that you love, and those things that make you you. Then see how any of those things are applying into your life right now. Do I allow myself to get dressed up and play? Do I allow myself to go outside? Do I allow myself to work with my crystals or my rocks, whatever it is? And for whatever it is for you, then the next step is allowing yourself to do that, whatever those things are. And that is where it comes into you being who you truly are. Because if you're around people that are judgmental of you and you're having a hard time with that, it might be really hard to implement, okay, I'm going to sit down and actually be in the sun. Because maybe those people that you're around are like, no, you need to keep working, or you need to do this, or that's childish. Well, this is part of who you are. And when you allow yourself to be who you are, that is you bringing self-acceptance into your life. And that builds on kind of the things we talked about yesterday, about how that will then bring more people into your life who do accept you and who love you and need you for real. So I would just encourage you guys to experiment with this. Don't put pressure on it. There's not requirements, because you are your own expert. You know what you need best. And so just allow yourself to experiment with it over the next couple days, and maybe leave me some comments if you have questions, or let me know what you find. It's always exciting to look back in your childhood and think, wow, what was something that I did when I was a little kid? And I think that this exercise is also helpful because in my belief system anyway, when you're a child, you're fresh on this planet. You're this fresh soul that just came here, and you are like, I know exactly what I want. I know exactly who I am. If you think about toddlers, they know exactly who they are, and they know exactly what they want. And so think back. Don't put too much pressure. Make your list when you have some quiet time. And then think about, how am I incorporating any of those things in my life right now? And how could I incorporate any of those things in my life? And how can I further accept myself to allow myself to do those things that I love, and in that, allow myself to be who I am. Okay, so coming back to cards as well, we're talking about feldspar. Because there's our inner child. This is your inner child. That's what you guys can work on. That's the exercise. So when we're talking about feldspar minerals are, if you guys don't know, I will tell you because I love rocks. But feldspar minerals are things like labradorite. So this is a piece of labradorite. Very cool. It has a blue flash. Moonstone. These are black moonstone. Moonstone comes in white, black, peach, and rainbow. So you can work with your crystals like this to help you in this exercise if you have them. If you don't, you can check out my shop, elresembers.com, and I should be getting some more feldspars listed here pretty quick. But feldspars work by helping you really look into your intuition. So you do want to also be just a bit careful if you're using a feldspar mineral that you do have some grounding with it. After you finish your inner child, we won't say meditation because that I know can be hard for some people to start. But when you're just reflecting, just thinking back, imagining, you can use moonstone or labradorite or another feldspar mineral to help you do that. They're very expansive, they're very insightful. They really help you unlock your intuition. So there's your crystals for that. Okay, and then one more time, I wanted to talk about this card one more time, the Jade and Pink Lotus. So Jade is a heart crystal, heart healer, heart chakra. And heart is where the energies come from of how you love yourself, how you love others, how you connect to other people. And I don't have a piece of jade with me today, but jade is a really good crystal for that. It's very gently expansive. You know, sometimes if you have a lot of energy going on in the heart chakra, it can be almost overwhelming. But jade is a very gentle and smooth type of healer. So that's for your information. And then I also wanted to make you guys aware of pink lotus because lotuses are born from the mud, right? If we didn't have the mud, we wouldn't have the lotus. And so just be aware that I know that childhood is not easy, and there's things for all of us where it's maybe you had an abusive childhood or a neglectful childhood, and I fully recognize that and sympathize. But I just want you to know that you are the pink lotus, okay? You have been in the mud, and you can bloom, and you can do this. You can be who you truly are. You can open up that blossom for yourself, to feel the sun on those petals for yourself, because you do deserve it. No matter what anybody's told you, no matter what has happened in your past, no matter what even you believe right now about yourself, you do deserve the love, and you deserve to feel the sun on your petals, okay? So that's what I've got for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and go check out the website, check out the Facebook page and the Instagram. I'll be posting some more stuff. We've got stuff going up for sale on the website every day, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, I would love to do that. I am so into this. So wishing you well, and let your embers always burn bright.